on level 4 lockdown. So I really appreciate those of you who are attending the meeting. Just to share a business idea with you, if you're a guest and you're attending this meeting for the very first time, two things I would request for you. Number one, open your ears. Number two, come to a decision. Because I think that making a decision is what is the beginning of success. I'll spend another about 30 to 35 minutes explaining what we do in our business. And based on the information that you get, you'll make a decision. You'll get back to the person who invited you to show you the way how to become successful in our business. So without further ado, I'd like to share the screen with you to explain to you what we do in our business. All right. If you notice that the mission of our company is very simple. It's a very simple mission. That is to make the world a healthier and a happier place. But you see, for you to enjoy this statement, the full meaning of this statement, it has to start with you. You as a person, as a parent, as a husband, as a wife, a daughter, a son, an uncle, whatever it is. The idea behind our business is to make the world a healthier and a happier place. How do we do that? Two things. We teach you how to make money. Number two, we teach you how to have good health. Because those two things, if they are well managed, they can lead to a healthier and a happier life. That's myself and my wife, Betty. Just a little background on ourselves. I'm trained as a civil engineer. Born in Kenya, but we've been living in South Africa now for the last 25 years. And the reason why we left Kenya is very simple: to have a better life, to have a life that our children would go to better schools, to live a life that is comfortable. But you see, when you leave your own country and you go to a foreign country, you look for all means to make sure that your life is better. Because when you're in your original country, at least there's a social or safety net that you have friends and relatives who would be able to support you. But if you're in a foreign country, self-discipline is very, very, very important. So Betty and I came to South Africa. I got a job with a consulting company. I also went and furthered my education. I did a postgraduate course in construction management because I thought that to be successful, you needed to be very, very educated. That is partly true because I know very many people who are very highly educated but are struggling financially. At the same time, I know people also who are not educated and also struggling financially. So, though education helps you to become successful, it does not guarantee you success. So Betty and I came to South Africa. We looked around. We decided that we need to do something to supplement my income as a civil engineer. And when Betty was shown this business, the business didn't make a lot of sense, but the thing that attracted Betty to the business was the speaker that evening was a person with a similar situation like we were in that he had a child who has got a long-standing illness. And the speaker that night was Hansi Kronia. His son has cerebral palsy, which requires a lot of attention of the parents. So that's how we got started. We got started because we wanted to make extra money, but also Betty wanted to stay at home and look out for the children. Well, I remember our first income was about $3, but after 7 months of doing the business part-time, our income reached $1,000. And that's when I decided to really, really concentrate and put a lot of effort in the business. That's how we got started. But if you're a guest, I'd like to share some ideas with you. The first is this. What are the 4 ways that people use to generate income? The first is called a job. A job is when you work for somebody or you're employed by somebody, and at the end of 30 days, they pay you a salary. It's good because you don't depend on somebody to get your salary, but your employer. But the downside is this: because of the situation that is going on around the world, so many people have lost their jobs. Secondly, the challenge with a job is that there's a lot of internal politics in the business. What do I mean by that? That people deliberately make life very hard for their fellow employees or their fellow workers so that they can get ahead. The second way to generate an income is called self-employment. Self-employment means that you get some little capital, you invest in the business, and you start selling a product or a service. But the only challenge with self-employment is that this business depends on your physical presence. And the challenge with that is that if you fall sick or you want to travel or you want to pay attention to your family needs, you find that you're unable to do so because the business depends on you. In fact, there's a very, very simple test to know whether you own a business or the business owns you. If you can go away from your business for 3 months and it doesn't collapse, then you know you own the business. If that is not the case, then the business owns you. The third way to generate income is big business. These are people who invest huge capital in their business. They have lots of employees, and together with employees, you have a lot of labor issues. An example of the big business is Shoprite Checkers of South Africa or Naivas in Kenya. For example, Shoprite Checkers employs 147,000 people. They have over 1,900 outlets around the African continent. But you see, not the average person doesn't have this level of investment to be able to invest in their business. The fourth way to generate income is called investment. That is when you have extra cash over and above your daily requirement, but two things are necessary for you to be able to be a successful investor. You need to have the knowledge, you need to have the skill of investing. That's why most people who have the extra cash, they get somebody else to do their investment for them because of the lack of knowledge and experience in investing. There's also another way that people generate income. These are specialist professionals, for example, professional athletes, musicians, authors, people who have very extraordinary skills to generate income. But this is not available to the ordinary person in the street. But the question is this: is there an ideal business for building wealth? Is there a way to generate wealth that does not require too much capital? I think there is. And this business has got the following criteria. Number one, you need very low capital to start this kind of business. For example, in our business, you need between $60 and $100 to start a global business. And I find that really astounding because if you invest $60 to $100 in your business, you get access to a global network of support that helps you to grow your business. That's one. Number two is that the products are developed and researched on your behalf so that the only thing you need to do is to market your products. The second criteria for an ideal business is this: you need to get involved in distribution of goods and services. Why is that? Because everybody needs them. The key to success in any business, if you look at the top companies around the world, the wealthiest, they are always involved in distribution of goods and services. One of the largest is Google. They distribute IT services or computer services or search engines. So if you want to get involved in making a lot of money, you need to get involved in distribution. The third criteria, you need to have a global reach. What does that mean? It means that you need to be able to reach a lot of people around the world. And our company operates in over 50 countries around the world. In Africa, we are in 14 countries, and of those 14 countries, we're able to reach 450 million people. And that gives us a lot of markets to be able to satisfy. The fourth item is you need leverage. What is leverage? Leverage is finding a way to increase your income earning ability, to increase the amount of time that your business does provide a service, and also the amount of money you need to apply to grow your business. That is what is called leverage. And leverage is actually one of the key successes to wealthy people because they don't depend only on their effort and time, they depend on the effort and time of other people. The fifth item is you need a consumable, unique, high-quality product. Why is that important? Excuse me. That is important because if you buy a pair of shoes today, the next time you're going to buy a pair of shoes is probably 6 months or 1 year's time or 18 months' time. If you buy a suit, if you buy a car, these are not consumable products. By consumable products, I mean things like soap, things like detergents, hair shampoos, supplements, things that people use all the time, and if they finish, they go and buy some more. That is what I mean by consumable, and it makes good business. I remember when I started this business, I invited one of my friends to have a look at the business idea, and one of the products they demonstrated in that meeting was the cleaning products. So he turned around and told me after the meeting and told me, Pascal, you're a civil engineer, and here you are selling soap. I was quite taken aback by that statement, and later on, my mentor told me, we don't only sell soap, but we sell hope, because this business gives hope to people to have a better life for the future. Then you need a business system. What is a system? A system is tools, procedures, equipment that you use to build your business so that you as the owner of the business does not have to be present when the business is being run. You will notice that if you go to any of the banks or the branches of any of the banks in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, South Africa, the layout of the use of the banks is similar. The computer system they use to do transactions is exactly the same. They teach their employees to work the system. They have got standardized ways of running the business because the owners of the business do not have to be at the premise where the business is being run. That is what we call a system, and that is what makes the business successful. And the last item is you need the correct timing. And because of what is going on around the world, there's a lot of unemployment, businesses closing down. People are looking for ways to make extra money. And this business is a perfect or an ideal business because you don't need an office. You need very low capital to get started. You don't have to develop the products yourself. The company helps you. So it's a very good business to do. And that is what we mean by an ideal business. But what is this business called network marketing? What do we actually do? In network marketing, this is a system of distribution of goods and services using individuals to market the products. For example, Neolife is a manufacturer, and what we do is we take the product from the manufacturer, Neolife, to the consumer directly through a distributor. So the money the company would have spent to pay for advertising, for retailers, for wholesalers, this is what is paid to distributors. So what do? We cut out the middleman. We have no advertising. For most products, advertising sometimes costs as much as 35 to 50% of the budget. And that means this money is available to people who successfully advertise the products by word of mouth. We don't have wholesalers or retailers. Products are explained to the customers directly. We are paid for successfully referring customers to buy the products. We don't earn money in this business unless a customer has ordered and bought a product from Neolife. The products are researched and developed on your behalf. And that means you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. Neolife has built infrastructure in 50 different countries that supports your business. So if you're in South Africa, in Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Nigeria, Ghana, you can start a business in different countries without being there physically. And then there's no qualification required except three things: the desire for success, being teachable, working very hard, and those three ingredients is what guarantees your success. But when did this company start? When did this vision of building this Neolife company start? He started with Mr. Jerry Brasfield. Jerry Brasfield, when he was a teenager, he had very, very serious asthma, and his mother gave him natural remedies. And when he felt better, he thought that maybe he should share this idea with his friends and relatives in a small town called Porterville in California. And that's where Neolife was born in 1958. Now Neolife is doing business in 50 countries around the world. Started the business in South Africa in 1971, came to Kenya in 1996, and Uganda 97, I think. And then if you're a guest, this business has come to you today. But what are the things that has held this company or business for all those years? I think because we believe in 5 basic principles. The first is absolute integrity and honesty. We believe we need to tell our customers the truth about our business, about our products, and what it's possible to achieve in the business. The second thing is people are number one. The most important resource we have in our business is people. If you don't have people, you don't have a business. The third is products that work. Why is that important? Because if products don't work, your customers simply go to somebody else. So the company has spent a lot of time and effort to develop and research to develop the best products we have in the market. The fourth is equal opportunity for everybody. Everybody starts from the same level, whether you're a man or a woman, whether you're 18 or 81, whether you are a CEO or a housewife, whether you're a carpenter, an engineer, a lawyer, a doctor, whatever you are, everybody starts at the same level. That's why this is a great equalizer. People start from the same level, and the ones who work the hardest, the ones who are most teachable, are the ones who become successful. And the last principle we believe in our business, you need to have long-range vision. We suggest, if you start this business, give it a 2 to 5 year horizon, that you put every effort to learn what you can in this business, and within these 2 to 5 years, you will be financially independent. By that, we mean that if your current income stops, you'll be able to support your family from this business. So, why do people start this business? People start this business for very many different reasons. Some people start the business because they want a better life for their families. Some start the business because they want to buy a home or they want to build a dream home. Some start the business because they like beautiful cars. Some start the business because they want to buy or build a holiday home. Some start the business because they want to make very good income. Some start the business because they want to be physically healthy. So people start this business for very many different reasons. If you're a guest tonight, I don't know what your reason would be to start the business, but you need to identify that reason and using as a springboard to become successful in this business. Okay? If that is you start the business, you register with Neolife as a distributor, you are registering with a company with more than 60 years of experience operating in over 50 countries. And we've got a group of scientists called the Scientific Advisory Board, whose job is to develop the finest products we can get in the marketplace. Then we have 4 ranges of the products. Why are these products important? Because they are consumable and every single home needs this range of products. Which are those ranges? The first is the cleaning range of products. We call them the golden home care products. These are products you use to clean your home, your bathroom, your kitchen, your toilet, the tiles, the carpets, washing cars, cleaning ovens. Anything in your home that requires cleaning, we have the products for you. The second is the personal care range. The personal care range of products are things like hair shampoos, hair conditioners, hand and body lotion, and all that stuff. The third is a skincare range. These are products that help you to maintain good skin. The fourth is healthcare products. This is the highest selling range of our products because most people know that if your health is finished, everything else falls apart. So they take very good care of their health so that at least they're able to enjoy life and have a meaningful existence. How do we build our business? We build our business by doing what we call the 3 daily success habits. Why is it important to have daily success habits? Because for your business to be exposed to the public, you need to expose your business on a daily basis. What is the first thing we do? The first thing we do is we use the products ourselves. We change our buying habits. So when you're going to do your grocery or your shopping at the end of the month, we shop at our own business. We support our own business. The other reason why you need to support your business or use your products is you want to share your experience of using the products with your friends, relatives, and customers. Now, because Neolife is registered in different countries, the company has devised what we call the point value system. That is, products have a PV attached to it, the point value that measures the size of business in different countries. So let's assume that you start a business and use 100 points. The second thing we do is we share the business. What does that mean? It means that you need to introduce other people to join the business to become distributors like yourself. What do? They do exactly what you've done. They use the products. Excuse me. And let's assume that they use 100 PV the way you do. Eventually, you'll have 7 people or 7 households using 100 PV. If you do that, you become a manager and your income is about $45 a month. The next thing you do is you teach the people you've brought into the business to duplicate what you do. That is to also use products in their homes. And let's assume the person in the top right corner introduces 2 people who also introduce 2 other people in their turn. Eventually, you'll build a 700 PV unit, plus the other 6 gives you 1,300. You become a senior manager, and your income is about $90 a month. So what we do is we train the people you've brought into the business to duplicate the process, or rather to copy what we do. Now, 700 is as an example for demonstration purposes. It could be more or it could be less. Okay, so if you have 6 households doing 700 PV, that's 4,200 plus 100 PV gives you 4,300. You become a director in the business and your income is between $580 and $700. Okay. The other thing we do in our business is not everybody is going to join your business as a distributor. These are the people who become our customers, and we make a 20% profit from the products we sell to them because they're not registered. The third thing we do in our business is called personal development. What does that mean? It means that we take time to learn how to be business leaders. We take time to learn about the products. We take time how to explain the business idea through training, support, and personal development. Personal development simply means you take time to be a better person in terms of attitude, skill, and knowledge. And if you do that, your business begins to grow to different levels. If you help one person in your business become another director, your income goes to about $1,000 a month. If you help 3 people become directors, you reach what we call a Ruby director and your income goes to about $2,000 a month. If you help 6 people become directors, your income goes way beyond $5,000 a month. That's what is possible in our business. So I want to hand over back to Paul to invite our guests for this evening to share her story.
Thank you so much, Pascal, for that amazing presentation, as you always do. I'm sure, and I do believe that our guest on the call today, you have been able to get an understanding of what you do in the company of Neolife. You have been able to see the products. You have been able to see how the opportunity works. So we just want to thank you for being there. And in case you have questions, because you don't get it on the first time, you know, it's a system, it's a business building. Do not worry. The person who brought you to this call and the leaders on this call today, they'll be able to teach you until they make sure that you can also explain the business the way Pascal is explaining today. So speaking of our guests, yes, we are very lucky and privileged today to host one of our business builders in Kenya, who is going to share her story, the way she started on this opportunity, the benefits she has been able to get, and where she is today now. And she's always an amazing person. So I don't want to share a story because she's here. Let me welcome our guest speaker for tonight, Margaret Amulavu. Margaret, can you hear me?
Yes, Paul, I can hear you. Are you able to hear me?
I can hear you and I can see you clearly. Take it away.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Pascal, for that wonderful presentation. As you've heard, my name is Margaret Amulavu, and I'm based in Nairobi, Kenya. Before this business, I worked for an international bank, and I worked for this bank for 8.5 years. And after 8.5 years, I chose to resign. And at the time I resigned, everybody knew that I was not fine. I mean, how do you leave a bank, an international one? In my days, there were just 2 big banks in Kenya. And if you worked for any of those 2, you were really quite something. And for me, why I had to leave the bank is that one day I came home and our son was 3 years then, said these days, mommy does not come home. And it was true because at the time I left, we were in transition. We were moving from manual records to computer records. And so I used to spend a lot of time in the office, coming at 8 o'clock and leave at midnight. And they made it comfortable. They bought me dinner. I was given a taxi to take me home. And so really, I really didn't have a reason to leave this job. But just the fact that my son at 3 years thought that mommy does not come home, that for me was disturbing. The other second reason why I left is because I come from a very mixed background. My father is a Kenyan, my mother is a Malawian, and I'm married to somebody from Western Kenya. And I just thought that if my in-laws heard that this lady does not come home, I mean, a 3-year-old cannot lie. And so on those bases, I decided, you know what, I must leave this job. The other thing is that the job was very stressful. I remember getting so tired that in our house that we had, I could not go upstairs to change because if I went up, I would have to stay up, and if I was down, I was just down. But I never ever regret having gone to work in the bank, because in the bank, that's where I met my husband, Charles Amulavu, a very supportive man. I must say, he's a great deal of the person I have become today. He has been a support, he's been by my side, he has encouraged me, he's been there for me. And why do I say that? Because at the time I decided to leave the bank, I actually didn't want him. I just wrote my resignation letter. I remember 3 p.m., 30th of September, 1996. I sat on my desk and I was very made up that I need to leave this job. Previously, of course, when I was on maternity leave, we kept on going to and fro that I need to leave the job, and you tell me, no, you need to be on. And so for me, the time I decided to leave, I said, you know what, I have made up my mind. And I wrote my letter, take it to the human resource. They signed, they stamped, acknowledged. I took a copy, walked across to Charles's office, and I said, from today, I have gone home and you will be the breadwinner. A normal man would have definitely thrown me out. Why? We had a house mortgage that we were paying at that time. We had a car loan. We'd taken a car loan from the bank. Our son was already going to school. He was about 5 years. I had gotten a second baby, was 4 months, and there I was leaving the bank. And that is how I left the bank. So I always say he has been very supportive, and I always thank God for him. Maybe I actually went to the bank to get a husband, and I have no regrets having done that. And so I resigned, went home. So this business found me when I was at home. I'd stayed home for a year. I'd become frustrated because of having to ask for money, because when Charles and I met, I was already working. So I was used to having my own money, making certain decisions, what to eat, what to wear, things that I could do on my own. Now I had to depend on somebody. And for me, that was a little bit difficult for me. And so I prayed to God. I remember I told God 2 things. Give me a business I can do from the house, and it should not be more than 15,000 Kenya shillings. That is $150. Why did I want it that way? Because I had no saving. Even having worked in the bank for all those years, 8.5, do you know I had no savings at all? I actually had 20 shillings, not even a dollar in the bank, 20 shillings. And the other money that I had, the 15,000, was in a cooperative society, which you would have to borrow again so that you're able to start the business. And so it found me at a point when I was searching and I was looking for something to do. To cut the long story short, a neighbor of mine invited me. She came one day and told me there is a business in town. You can work from home. You can do it part-time. You'll be able to bring up your children. You'll be able to earn good money. You'll even be able to earn foreign currency and even travel. The bit of foreign currency and traveling, I knew that was not true, because the days I worked in the bank, you had to ask for foreign currency from central bank. When you had money, you had to declare how much you have when you're traveling in and out of the country. So I couldn't see how I was going to earn foreign currency. Traveling, working from the house, I'm looking at all the things you do in the house: clean, wash, bathe children, cook. And I'm thinking, how does that translate into a ticket? Anyway, because I had nothing to lose, she picked me up one evening took me to a meeting, and like those of us who are attending it online, mine was physical. And I went, and I liked what I saw in that room. They were very friendly people, and it was a warm and nice environment. And I listened. And I remember that what made me really make up my mind is that the person who spoke first, the presenter of the day, was a pastor from South Africa, and I had never seen a pastor do business. Then I saw some very critical key people in that meeting. I saw Dorothy Nyong'o, Lupita's mother, and Kiraito Murungi's wife. I didn't know their names, but I remember that in the years when we had some political issues, they were in exile and lived out of the country. And so I didn't understand what were these two women doing in the meeting. So from that, just seeing them, I said, even if I don't understand what is happening here, this is something great, and I think I need to be part of it. I didn't understand everything they said, but I just understood a few things, that they had excellent products, that I would get supported, I would have a mentor, and I would be trained to be able to do it. I started off the very following day. I went and gave the money and started off the business. And my pack was brought home, and I didn't go through a kit orientation. In those years, we didn't know what to do. And I had to do a lot of reading. I remember initially, because I was so determined about doing the business because I had nothing to lose. I used to wake up as early as 4:30 to 5:30 to read every day for 1 hour, read about 3 or 4 products, read about the business because we had a manual, because I really needed to understand how the business works. The starter pack had 3 ranges of products. It had cleaning products, it had the health, and it had skincare. I was not comfortable with the health and skincare. Why? In the days I grew up, people used a lot of things that they put on their skin, and they got a lot of challenges. Skin cancer, they had issues, and so I was not comfortable with the skincare. The healthcare, I was not sick, and I'm not a doctor, I'm not in the medical field, so I thought those were for somebody else. Actually, the skin and the health, I actually took after almost 6 months. And I loved using the cleaning products. Man, they were amazing. I never forget the day I used Super 10 to clean a room that we had put a stove, because of course, when you start early in life, we just had a 2-burner gas, and there was a room where we were using a stove, and it had turned black. The whole wall was just black. And I remember reading about Super 10 that morning, and in the evening when everybody was asleep, I tried this Super 10. I just sprayed, and all this soot would just fall off. Spray, and the soot would fall off. And I got so excited that from 10 o'clock, I slept at 2 o'clock, because it was just too exciting for me. Man, the products, I have used them, I love them. In fact, I was so crazy about products that I would not use any other product. And then, of course, the products were great, I enjoyed them. But 6 months after starting the business, we got a challenge. We were traveling home one day, and we got an accident. Charles lost control. And that baby, the second born, who had now decided to leave the bank for, actually lost that baby in a very tragic car accident. And we rolled from a cliff at Lanette all the way down. And by the time we got down the car, it was only Charles and I who were left in the car. My son, my mother-in-law, and the baby had all been thrown out. And what made us be left in the car was actually the safety belts. And I always thank God that you should always use safety belts. And that was a very, very difficult and trying time for me. And it was just hard. I mean, I'd left the job. I could no longer go back to a job. There were days I didn't want to talk to anybody. There are days I didn't want to leave the house. There are days, in fact, if Charles and my son asked me for food, I would wonder what is wrong with them, because my whole mind had gone with this child. And it was at that point that I actually became serious in the business. Those initial months, I was just trying in and out, not very serious. But after I've lost this child, I found I had all the time, and I was not good for any job. And then I decided to actually use the health products. There were products they said that would help with stress. I remember taking Formula 4 Plus, Vitamin B Complex, Calcium, Herbal Rest and Relax, and Aloe Vera Plus. And those products sorted me out. Do you know, despite that challenge, I never went into depression. And I know what depression is because I've been there before. That will be a story for another day. So I know that I was survived because of those products. I didn't go on any antidepressants, and yet I survived. And so I decided to start studying, what are these products? What do they have? And they're saying they're not medicine. And yet I've not gone into depression. So I wanted to know what was in them that had helped me. And so I started reading, and slowly by slowly, we started now making some income. Initially, I was making profits, which I was very happy about, because then I didn't have to ask Charles for airtime. I didn't have to ask for bus fare. I didn't have to ask him for money if I wanted to change a meal. You know, you can be in a situation whereby you cannot even make a surprise for your husband, because if you ask for money, he has to know why you're asking for it. So no surprises. So for me, the daily income made a lot of sense to me, because I think the daily income is what is a challenge to us. When situations come and maybe you have to travel, a child comes from school and they need something, there's a treat, suddenly you have to do something. And so the daily profits really, really made a difference for me. And then, of course, I started talking to my friends who were with me. And one of the challenges I got is that my friends were very negative. They were so negative to an extent that I stopped banking in the bank that I'd worked in, and I would actually bank in a different bank. Because when we started initially buying products we had to bank, I actually stopped going to the bank that I had worked for because of the negativity. And I went to a different bank because I just knew that I must do this thing. The other challenge I got, of course, is when I lost the baby. I remember a friend of mine at church heard about it. And immediately the announcement was done. And as we walked out, she beckoned on me and I went to see her. And she said, Margaret, I'm so sorry about the baby, but I must tell you, it is that business that you joined, this devil worship. You know, when people don't understand and they don't know what you are in. And I remember telling her, Pam, thank you so much for the condolences, but on the business, let's never talk about it until the day you are ready to come and listen to me. Believe you me, 3 years down the line, her husband got a very serious ulcer challenge. They've been to every medical place they could go to until one day they got a medical doctor who asked them, do you know a New Life distributor? Do you know she came to me? And I almost asked her if the devil had left this time, but knowing that she did not know what she was saying when she had talked to me initially, I just said, no, what I think, like Jesus, I said, just forgive them for they do not know what they are saying. So initially our check started from our initial, the very first amount I ever earned in form of a bonus was actually $2. $2 is what I earned. And I was a bit discouraged because it was so small, but I understood that if I put in time and effort, I'd be able to move up. It went to $60, $90. One time it moves to $100. Eventually it moved to $1,000. And after about 4 or 5 years, it moved to $2,000. And that is when I decided, you know what, I'm never going back to a formal job. So the business has helped me in that I'm able to earn. And through our business is now in 7 countries, that international currency does actually coming, including the US and South Africa. Well, we've got a team there. The other thing is that I've been able to bring up my children. That boy who was 5 years old when I left the bank, is actually turning 29th on the 5th of October. And God is so gracious. He gave us another daughter after we lost the other girl. And I want to say God is faithful because our daughter turned 19 this year, May 23rd. And the birthday of the late girl was May 24th. And yet the difference is 6 years. Even if we had to do planning, surely there is no planning we would have done. So I want to say that God is very faithful because he gave us another girl. And we are just so grateful to this opportunity. What I'm saying is that if it wasn't for these products, I know I would not be normal. There is no way my head would have been fine. With what we went through, there was no way I would have been a normal person. Then the other thing that I've enjoyed is that I've benefited is achieving some of our dreams. Our initial dream when we joined the business, and more so when we lost our daughter, we decided that we must drive a proper car because we understood if there are certain cars we drove, that would not have happened. And our dream was to drive a BMW. And exactly 5 years after we started the business, to the exact date, because I remember putting it 31st December 2002, because I didn't want to guess and not get it. That exact date, 31st December 2002. I remember Charles giving me a call at 4 and asking me to go into town. And when I'm into town, he showed me a car. It was a BMW, gray in color, leather seats. And I remember he saying, this is our car from today. So for me, that was excellent because we decided, you know what, we are now going to drive a proper car, a car with a sunroof. Because a BM has got what we call side impact bars. So even if anything happened, first of all, it cannot even roll because it's got something in the middle that keeps it very stable. And so we just wanted to just have a good car from that incident. And then the other great dream that we've achieved is to be able to take my daughter and my son to South Africa. In 2017, we were able to cater for them for a fully paid for trip for a whole month. Myself and our daughter and son, we went to South Africa for a whole month. Charles was not able to join us, but we had a wonderful, wonderful time. I don't know if I wasn't in this business what I would have done. As in, my daughter at 16 years has been out of this country for a whole month. I don't know how old you are and whether you've been anywhere. And then the other thing is that we built our other dreams. And the other latest dream that I can talk about is that in 2019, we identified a piece of land in Western Kenya, and we were able to buy that property 2 million cash. We didn't take a loan. We didn't ask any money for money. It was bought cash. Charles is a very good at handling finances. I'm not. I know I want to make the money, but I'm not good at keeping it. But Charles can really, really handle finances, and which we have learned through New Life. And so it has been a wonderful, wonderful journey. And then we have traveled. Our first trip, we went to Mauritius, 2004, I never forget. A 7-star hotel with a dancing floor in the middle of a pool. The reception we got at the airport, our hands were cleaned, we had flowers put on our necks, we had juices at the airport, we had a special car, tour car to take us around, and it had a map inside showing us the different parts of the town that we were going to, and oh, it was amazing. Not to mention the reception dinner that we had. And I always remember the final day, we had firecrackers and we had a wonderful, wonderful display by the show, by the ocean show, and it was excellent. Man, I just say, if just to know how heaven is, you must go to Mauritius. And if you don't go, you might actually get a shock of when you get to heaven, because it is beautiful, beautiful. In Mauritius, if a phone is stolen, that is news. It will make it to the news, but it was just wonderful. I remember I was going for a 1-day cruise, and we were just on the ship and the sea the whole day. We went and visited a butterfly park that had just so many different butterflies. I'd never seen a butterfly park, and I saw it in Mauritius. And then our other trip, we went to Cape Town. Cape Town was amazing, seeing where the two oceans meet and the waters don't mix. We were able to go to Robben Island where Mandela had been jailed. We were able to use cable cars because some places their houses are across the ocean, so you have to use an electric cable car to get to that side. We saw the Table Mountains. What can I tell you? It's been exciting. I've been to London. London, I love the organization. A small town, but very organized, no traffic jams. Things are just orderly and neat. They even clean the streets. And what I found in Europe is that clothes are the cheapest thing that you can find. So I remember us shopping, and we just came with clothes that could almost last us a year. And what I'm saying is that this business has totally, totally transformed our lives. As a person, I have grown. You know, there are times I do sessions and people think I was born talking. I wasn't. I remember the first presentation I ever did, I stood for 5 minutes and I sweated so hard that when I sat down, I had to lift up my hands because of the sweating that had happened. But some years later now, I don't think there's anybody I can't talk to. There's nobody I cannot meet. And I'm confident, and I'm sure of what I am doing. I understand the products, and I now can interact with people of different levels in society. That was not so in the beginning. I remember I was scared of interacting with CEOs, MDs. I just thought I had nothing to tell them. But today I know, even if I met who is who, I know I have something that I can tell them. So I've grown as a person. I'm more decisive. I'm more sure. I can work with goals, and I've just become a better person. And I just wonder, if I had not joined this business, what kind of a person would I be? So the person I've become today is more important to me than what I've been through. And I just want to finish by saying that, how do I see the future? Oh, the future is exciting. I'm thinking that in another 5 years, we should be able to put up our dream house. And I want to give you a brief description of that house. It will be a 6-bedroomed house, all en suite, with the master bedroom being double en suite, because I don't want to be in the bathroom when Charles wants to use the toilet and vice versa. So each of us should have their own private small room with the colors that they would love in there. Of course, it will have a shower, it will have a tub, it will have a jacuzzi, and the 6 bedrooms will all have different colors. There'll be one with orange, one with yellow, one with blue, one with green, one with purple, and one with pink. And all of them will have matching items inside, from the carpet to the walls, to the towels that will be used there, up to the tissue paper. I mean, why are tissue papers different colors, if not for things like that? And I know that that house will also have a 2-kilometer driveway with cabro and some whispering trees. It will also have a basketball court. It will have a tennis court. I love tennis. It will have a swimming pool because my daughter and I love swimming. And the other thing that place will have, it will have a garden. I want to be able to grow my own food and eat the food that I know with one of our products, Super Grow. It will also have different fruits. It will have oranges, it will have grapes, it will have apples, it will have pineapple, it will have avocado, it will have melon. I mean, it will have all the fruits that I would want to have. And you know what? I am so sure that I'll be able to do it, because this opportunity gives you possibilities and you can have your wildest dream. Finally, I want to say that if you are listening to us for the very first time, grab this opportunity with both hands. There is no better time for you to do this business than now. We are more than 300 people on this call, and we are all situated somewhere in our homes or wherever it is that you are, and we are able to connect. Surely, what better time would there be? And when COVID has been, some of us have not known COVID because you're still able to make your income right from where you are. South Africa is on lockdown. Uganda has been on lockdown, but I can tell you amazing stories that people have made more money during this time than ever before. And then finally, those of us who are mothers, please let's be home, bring up our children, because when you bring up your children, you get to know them, the confidence they have, you identify their talents, you're able to encourage them, and you just run a better and wonderful home. And just to say that for whatever reason that you will not be able to team up with us, please look at these products. If it was not for these products, believe you me, I would not be here today and I would not have had my sanity. So make sure you at least look at the products, just make sure that whatever it is you will choose to do, that you will be there, when the time comes for you to do whatever it is. And then let me say that if you're that kind of a person who is saying that when I'm no longer in this world, I want to leave a legacy. I don't want the only sign to be that on the sign on my tomb, so and so lived from this year to this year, and that's the only mark that is there that you ever lived. Don't be part of the statistic. Join us and let's go and change the world. Thank you, Paul and Pascal, for giving me this opportunity. Pascal, one final word. You're one of the reasons I really put in effort in this business. I used to see you in magazines, and I used to look forward and wonder, one day, can I share a platform with you? And my dream has come true. Thank you very much. And I hope what I've shared has been of value and that somebody will have my name in their story one day. Thank you very much, Paul and Pascal. Back to you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Margaret. Amazing testimony there. You've been able to share with our distributors and our guest on the call today. Yeah, you said it very well. Sometimes I look at you and I'm like, Maggie was just this person who used to speak so well, but it comes with the personal growth that you have been able to receive in this business. And personally, I've been able to watch you grow, continue to build your business, and be the kind of a teacher and a leader you are to so many people across East Africa. Actually, today in the morning, I'd put your name and the flag of Uganda, and this is because you work so closely with the Uganda team as well. So there's nothing wrong with that. So we just want to thank you so much, Maggie, for your story, the way you share it. Definitely, your life has changed through this opportunity, and that is why you do not shy to be able to come forward every time we call you, to be able to teach other people and also to make distributors understand how they can be able to build a business like you have built together with your husband, Charles. So we just want to thank you so much for taking time to share from the bottom of your heart. And we thank you, for being who you are. I watched you do the weight loss program, and I can tell you're looking very good. It's working on you. So that's another testimony for another day when you are doing the product session. So thank you so much for coming and sharing with us. I just want to go to Pascal because of time. Pascal, if you can hear me, please come forward, and then you can be able to close the meeting for us. Welcome, Pascal.
Thank you very much, Paul. Margaret, that was the only word I can give for your testimony is electric. Thank you so much. That is a wonderful presentation. If I was a guest and I was listening to Margaret speak, I wouldn't wait for the meeting to finish. I would go to the person who invited me and tell me, please give me the forms. I want to start a business yesterday. Because I'm telling you that I think that story can move anybody who is serious about life. Margaret, thank you so much for your testimony. It's a pleasure to share this platform with you. And one of the things you mentioned about this business is the technology. And it's true, many people have made more money during this COVID period in this business than they have made before. Why? Because technology has made this business move faster than ever before. For example, if you do this business, you can order the products online. You don't need to leave your home. South Africa has just been put on level 4 lockdown. And we grow our business without leaving our home. If you want to register new distributors, you can do it online. The moment you start this business, the company creates for you your own back office, that is your personalized website, where you can refer your customers and guests to see what your business is, and you can monitor and manage your business. Training is done locally and internationally online. I mean, I've seen people from Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania. I've seen one of my colleagues from the Eastern Cape in South Africa, people from Italy, from the US. people from different parts of, oh, in fact, I've seen one of my friends from Johannesburg who joined this training session. So this business training is done online. You don't need to leave. As long as you have got internet connectivity, you can build your business. Delivery of products, each country where the company is doing business, they contract local courier companies to deliver products to the doorstep or the nearest station for customers to go and collect. Payment done online by electronic transfer or mobile money. Payment of bonuses and commissions is done also by electronic funds transfer or mobile money transfer. So this business has become so efficient that you can build your business anywhere around the globe as long as you have internet connectivity. Margaret was talking about traveling. Betty and I had a privilege of attending the Ruby Orientation School at the Santon Sun Hotel in Johannesburg, where the company treats you for 4 days, paid for, and you meet top distributors from the African continent. Those of you who are in Dubai, it's a fantastic experience. You see, some of these things, it's difficult to explain until you are there yourself to experience what this business can do. So if you're a guest, if you're a new distributor, you can reach any level that you want. Those are some of the people who attended Ruby Orientation School in Johannesburg in 2019. If you're a guest, this is how you get started. Speak to the person who invited you. They'll give you an application form. You pay your registration. In South Africa, you pay 690, between 690 and 2,700, depending on the package that you want to start with. In Kenya, it's 7,360 or 8,970. In Nigeria, it's 17,500 or 22,500 naira. In Tanzania, it's 140,500 or 170,700 Tanzania shillings. In Uganda, it's 203,900 or 242,500 Uganda shillings. In USA, it's $99. Sweden is 1,025 Swedish krona. In Italy, is 64 euros. So if you're a guest, get back to the person who invited you. They'll show you how to get started in the business. They will guide you as long as 3 things will happen. Number 1, you're teachable. Number 2, you have a hunger for success. And number 3, you work hard. If you have got these 3 things going for you, nothing will stop you. Remember, if you do what you've always done, you will always get what you've always got. It's simple. But if you change, if you make a decision to start, if you do what others won't do now, in the future, you're going to do what others can't do because you'll have created a legacy for your children and your children's children. Margaret, I really liked your description of your dream house. And I could actually picture everything when you spoke. 5-bedroom house, each with a different color. I can relate that very well. So thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, our guests, our fellow distributors, may God expand your lives until your destiny is fulfilled. Thank you and good night.